Well, hello, hello. And
Hi.
hi. And we'll start with we love you. Guys, welcome to the United Earth Angels series, episode 6 already with Tobi Staples and Andrea Ford.
Welcome, welcome.
Tonight, we've got loads of questions that we're going to answer and loads of information for y'all tonight, loaded with love. So I highly suggest that you grab a pen and paper if you're interested in taking some notes, because we're going to cover quite a few topics tonight with all kinds of questions and answers. But before we get into it, I want to welcome you. Thank you for your time and your energy, because you're valued big time. And this is why we do it. We come out here to serve. Andy, you want to throw in a couple of words before I run on with a couple of the events coming up that I'd like to share with everybody?
I just want to say thank you for taking your time and joining us on our live. And if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to add them to the comment section. And as soon as we see them pop up, we will answer your questions and enjoy the live.
Right on. So welcome everybody to episode 6. Look, I've got a couple of events that I'm going to touch on, but first I really want to shout out the CFQR radio station 600 AM. You guys I didn't realize that here I am talking about the Montreal listening area, but you guys can actually go to www.cfqr600.com. Okay? And listen. So, all right. I want to touch some topics, guys. I have to let you guys know this Supercharge Your Manifesting Powers, the Masterclass series. It's a free 14-day online event from May 8th to the 21st. Yes, I'm a speaker, but I'm proud to announce that I'm launching the series. I will be the first one in your inbox. Yeah, for the series of the masterclasses. So I really am excited about that. And I really would love for you guys to register, because what happens with this event is you don't have to be present for it. What's going to happen when you register is you're going to receive in your email inbox every day for 14 days, 2 experts for a half an hour, each expert, where you can listen to it at your time that you have. You don't need to lock yourself into, being there at a specific time. It comes to you. You listen to it when you want. But hey, it's to supercharge your manifesting powers. And you know what? The link is in the comment. All right. The link is in the comment. Please, guys, it's worth it for you all. You cannot lose. This is a free opportunity for you guys, literally, to have 28 different experts assisting you to manifest, supercharge your creating powers, your creative powers. We all create. We all want things in life. So really, I really hope and pray that you guys all take the time to just register. Like I said, it'll come to your inbox. You'll get it in the morning, and you got all day to take a look at it. Okay?
I'm registered.
And sorry, go ahead.
I'm registered.
Right on. I'm really happy that you registered. This is really an awesome event. And, Irina put together quite a lineup of experts. And I am so proud of the event. And I'm so proud that we're 2 days away. And on May 8th, hey, I'll be the first one in their inboxes. So I'm proud of that. So I'm launching off the event. So me and another speaker will be arriving in your inbox should you register. So please do. Guys, there's another summit that you guys got to know about. It's a virtual interactive summit. Now, this one is in the links in the comments. Also, it's the Breakthrough Summit, but it's number 2. This is the second round, Dr. Breakthrough, and Michael Whitehouse is hosting it. Guys, the link is in the comments to register, and I'm not just going to be a speaker there, but I will be attending the whole event. So guys, please register, okay? Because it is an opportunity. Look, let me put it this way. The first Breakthrough Summit was my first time coming out as a speaker to any event. So first time experiencing a real summit and first time experiencing a speaking engagement on a summit. It was so interactive and mind-blowing and so awesome that I couldn't help but jump in for the round 2 event, okay, which is huge. And the registrations are kicking off, and it's going to be a very dynamic event. So please, guys, register. And what else do we have? Is there anything that I'm forgetting about, Andy, that I should be talking about?
Not that I know of. The manifestation thing will be good. Yes. It'll be very informative for anybody.
Yes. And did you check out the Breakthrough Summit too?
Yeah. I know I registered for it. Cool. I haven't had time to check it all out yet.
Okay, no. But I'm happy. I'm happy because even during the day while the kids are at school, if you're not at the gym and you have the time, it's going to be an awesome, awesome, awesome summit. So guys, let's get into it tonight. You know, we've got quite a bit of topics tonight that we are going to touch base on. Andy, let's kick it off. And I'm seeing a comment.
That was mine, I think.
Oh, there we go. Here's where you can ask questions. Please do not hesitate to ask anything about our topics.
Right on. Yes. We are going to be discussing narcissism. Something that does strike fear in some people because they have dealt with and they have PTSD from a narcissist person, either in their family or in a past relationship, or maybe you're in a relationship now and you don't know. Well, we're about to tell you what signs to look for. Most narcissists do not admit that they're narcissists, will not admit it. They will, they'll tell you it's all in your head. Am I right?
Yeah, you are.
They'll tell you that you're imagining it. That stuff never happened that you know dang good and well happened. You won't be allowed to have friends. Won't be allowed to go to your family. But we'll go into detail. We'll go into detail on this little topic tonight.
So I can see that you have encountered a narcissist yourself.
Yes, a couple actually. One was mild. He was mild. I called him out and he didn't see his problem. My first ex-husband was, I will say, a mild narcissist because I actually did get to go to like church events and family events. I couldn't have friends though. Heaven forbid I had friends. But when I'd come home, he would make me feel like I had abandoned him. Like I didn't want to be with him because I didn't invite him to go with me. That I took my son with me, but not him. So I didn't love him the way I said I loved him. He made no sense whatsoever. I just wanted to get away from him for a couple hours. And I thought, well, I can't do any better. So I'll just stick with him. No.
Can I jump in and ask you something?
Yes.
So why did you feel that you couldn't do better? Was it because of the shaming that came from being with the narcissist that broke your self-esteem down? Or was it just that at that point you had been feeling like you were broken down?
Well, as soon as I got pregnant at 19 out of wedlock, 2 months into my pregnancy, I reconnected with a guy from high school. And that was my first husband. It wasn't my first child's father. But all through high school, I didn't know why everybody was staring at me. I thought everybody was laughing at me. I was self-conscious because of my home life. I mean, I didn't get abused at home, but like we were poor, poor, poor. Couldn't afford, new clothes when I needed them. Had to go to donation centers and stuff to get clothes. So I felt like everybody was staring at me. I was self-conscious. And then when a guy that I met in high school and really liked decided he wanted to be with me after he knew I was pregnant, I thought, well, he's the bee's knees, man. I'm going to take him, you know. But I was made to believe by church officials that nobody would want a woman who was pregnant with someone else's child. So I got with a narcissist. He wasn't an obvious narcissist in high school, but after being with him for a little while before we got married, I started seeing signs. I was like, no, I'm not saying nothing. Maybe he's nervous about being a dad or whatever. I was making excuses for him. Then after the baby came, and of course, everybody loves babies. So he was about 1.5. Then I started noticing my first ex-husband acting differently, neglecting my son. I'd start fights with him because I'd come home from work and my son hadn't been taken care of. He had food and water in his room, but he didn't take care of him. And then he was about 2.5 when I started that. Yeah, because he was 3 when I had the second one. No, he was 2. See, this is what abuse and PTSD and narcissism does to you. It mixes your brain up. Um,
No, it does actually. And you know what? That's a perfect, I'd love to take this opportunity to throw some examples up for people of abuse, if we could. Emotional abuse. What does it look like for people? Andy, you want to reach out to people?
yep, I sure will. The examples of emotional abuse include aggressive behavior towards you, controlling behavior, criticism. It can be as small as, "Are you wearing that today?" Or "You're fixing your hair that way." Not telling you to change, but having a certain look on their face when they ask you that question, or even asking that question. That can be criticism. Um, Molding you, or what is it? Oh, making. It's blurry. Sorry. Making you feel bad about yourself. Isolating you from friends and family. Name calling. Being made to feel guilty. Guilty for wanting a break. Guilty for wanting to go. Guilty for literally anything. Giving you the silent treatment. That was one of his favorite things to do. I would say I wanted to go somewhere with my mom or my grandma. Fine, go. And I keep talking to him, and he wouldn't even look at me. He wouldn't acknowledge I was talking. He wouldn't do anything. I just went out the door anyways, because at that point, that was at the point I was done. And financial abuse. Let me tell you, my first ex-husband would not keep a job. I had to go to work so we could pay bills. And of course, when I'd come home from work, my son would be sitting in his room or in a playpen, and he'd have a nasty diaper on. He'd have dirty food all over him. He'd just not taken care of. Financial abuse destroys a lot of stuff. Saying he can't keep a job because he can't handle authority. Can't handle authority. Okay.
Well, a narcissist has a hard time with children because the children are the ones that get the attention. You see, a narcissist doesn't like babies or children because they're attention seekers, right?
Oh, yeah.
So children are shown normally more attention, nurturing, and love versus the abuser. So that's where they take it personal.
Oh,
You see,
yeah.
because they're attention seekers, they need to feed. So when a narcissist wants to feed, well, if the child is getting attention versus them, well, then the child becomes a threat to their feeding ground.
Yep. And we actually lived with his parents until the baby was 1.5. That's where the 1.5 came in. And then we moved out. And he was treating, as far as I know, he is treating my son fine, but it was probably his parents taking care of my son while I was at work. So
That's hard. That's hard. Well, you know what? I'd love to throw up some narcissistic abuse. Guys, now you've seen and you've heard Andy's experience with a narcissist. And I think that everybody, if you heard the podcast that I was on with Gemma the other day, that I posted, that you heard that I also had my own interactions with a narcissist. Guys, we want to enlighten you to the effects that it has on you once you've been in an abusive relationship with a narcissist. And I'd like to also mention that all of these pics that I post up here are pics that I have taken off the internet. And if the credit, whoever made them, are not on them, we'll let them know that they are not mine. So there we go. Okay, so the effects of narcissistic abuse. Well, what does it bring on? It brings on anxiety and or depression, post-traumatic stress, loss of sense of self and self-worth. You got extreme headaches, your body hurts, you have trouble sleeping, short-term memory loss. Why? Because you're in a fear response, so your logical thinking can't. Anyway, yeah. Mood swings or depersonalization. This is the effects that it has on one person. Well, look, experiences are traumatic for people, and we all process them differently according to how we can handle it through our central nervous system. Like, I'll touch on it right now. Somebody asked me clearly, Tobi, how did you survive that narcissistic encounter with a heart attack and everything that you lived? Well, I did it by focusing on what was good. I had to remain jumping inside and creating. So what did I do? I pumped out another 4 books while I was in that. 5 books while I was living that. I did NLP certification. I did extreme learning, because all of this abuse that I was suffering, it's either I put it somewhere that's going to feed me with something positive, or I had no chance of survival. So I took all of the bad that I was soaking in and I transmuted it into good for myself, because yes, it was very hard to endure, but being who I am, guess what? I had to produce something good out of it. So yes, I produced Wise and Rising, the conscious parenting book. Yes, I did. When the grandkids were coming, because him and I both were receiving grandchildren months apart. So I focused on producing books for these children. No matter what he was doing, no matter what he was, hey, listen, and the more I advanced with books, the more destructive he became, the more intentional the aggression became. So you see, I'm that type of person, though, that I try to channel everything and fuel everything and transmute it into my highest good, because it is supposed to be for my highest good, no matter what is going on in the situation or circumstance. It's learning, right? So
Yes.
as long as it's learning, I try to absorb it all. And, how do you think I figured out he was a narcissist? I studied narcissism. Literally, when I came across certain videos that had been popping up to me to watch, and I didn't even know what a narcissist was, hey, that's when I said, hold on here. This is a real disorder. This is something real. This is not something I'm imagining. This is actually something going on here. Well, I did the research. And then I did there were things that you had to do in order to be able to see if it's a narcissist or not. And I did these things to see what reactions and really, but you know what? I kid you not, though. Everything that I researched about narcissism and everything that I watched and I endured and I suffered, oh boy, did I learn from it all. I learned about baiting. I learned about gaslighting. I learned about all of these things. And you know what? While we're on that topic, let's pull up gaslighting. What is gaslighting, people? Well, this is when the narcissist, like it says, it's the narc's favorite weapon against you. And what does this mean? It means that every time you try to have a conversation or bring something up to them, well, what do they say? You're crazy. I never said that. You're too sensitive. Stop being so difficult. Oh, you need to let it go. No one will ever love you like I do. And another favorite one is, give it up. Nobody will ever believe you. Okay? These are real things that happen. Let's show you what baiting looks like. They bait you for a reaction. It's like baiting your fish hook and throwing it in to catch the fish. Well, guess what? That's what narcissists do too. So baiting. What's baiting? Baiting refers to a manipulative tactic used by the narcissist to provoke a reaction or elicit a specific response from their victim. The narcissist may intentionally say or do things to instigate conflict, evoke emotions, or test your boundaries with the goal of gaining control, exerting power, or undermining the victim's sense of self. What does that look like? Well, the silent treatment that Andy was talking about, because they are looking for you to feel crazy, feel unheard, to feel unvalidated, for that spark to be lit, because that's the response they're looking for, because then they can feed off your energy, because they've got control over you, because you are showing a reaction. These are real things that happen, and they want to keep you in a state of fear. Why? Because that's the easiest way to manipulate you and to keep your central nervous system on guard. You're always checking what's coming next. What's coming next? Oh, always, okay, what do I got to protect? What's coming at me? Because you're always in that mode expecting it. Andy?
Yeah, narcissists, they will make you think you're losing your mind. They will do something and then turn right around and say it's all in your head. One of my favorite things that my second ex-husband did was he didn't he did do things and tell me it didn't happen. But the thing I remember, an exact thing that he did was make me think that I was sleepwalking out of the apartment and cheating on him with a man in a van parked in the parking lot.
That's sick and twisted.
Yeah. And he also made me think that because 1 month I had a really bad monthly, if you get what I'm saying, made me think, well, you know why it's that bad, don't you? I said, no, why? He said, because you're miscarrying that man's baby. You were pregnant. Huh?
So how did you get over all of that, Andy?
Whew. The unhealthy way at first. Because I had nightmares. Every night I had nightmares. So
Well, it's trauma. It's traumatic to have to leave and repair, and you're walking away to rebuild. And there's a lot of things that, what were the effects on you? Did you doubt yourself? Did you have to rebuild yourself? Did you?
I most definitely doubted myself. One of the favorite things that he would tell me is, no one will want a woman with 5 children. Can we say replay from when I was pregnant with my first? So that's one reason I stayed. But then again, my children is the main reason I left. I had to rebuild my confidence in being a parent because he told me I'd never, ever be able to take care of all of my children by myself. Now, mind you, he had 4 when we got married, and I had 3, and then we had 2 together. I took care of all of those children. He did nothing, but he made me think that I couldn't do it. He made me think that I was incapable of taking care of my own children.
Well, I guess when we hear it over and over and over again, we start to believe it, eh?
Yeah. Yeah, we do. We start to doubt ourselves. We start to doubt our abilities to go outside of the house. We start to doubt our abilities to get and maintain a job. We doubt our abilities to take care of our children. We doubt our abilities to take care of ourselves. Everything starts to go downhill. But the light at the end of the tunnel is, and Tobi will attest this too, you will heal. You will overcome. What that narcissist said to you is just words. His words or her words have no power over you. No power.
Once you take your power back from them.
Right. Once you realize you can and you will continue living, continue first surviving because you go into survival mode, then you realize you're done surviving. You want to thrive. You will thrive. You just have to do it yourself.
Definitely. You got to make a big choice. Definitely. Definitely. Okay. You know what? I really want to throw up because I'd like to go to another topic, but I want to throw up the gaslighting checklist. Guys, this is something that the gaslighting is serious and it causes real effects. I just want to go through this checklist quick because if you're hearing this stuff in your life, well, you're dealing with a narcissist. Oh, somebody who's always putting you down, but they were just joking. Or no self-accountability. I didn't do that, but you know that they did. Being told that you're imagining things when you know that you're not. Okay, you were there with us. Yeah, when they're doing things that are explicit with others, or doing the energetic cheating, or the making advancement on people in your face, but then claim, well, you were there too, so that couldn't have happened. Hey, trust your feelings in your gut. When you're being told, you make stuff up in your head. No, if you're feeling it, it's real. There's a cause to the effects that you're feeling. Honor them. Don't be swayed by another person. Okay? When you're being told, don't be sensitive. Don't be so sensitive. No, you have the right to be feeling whatever you feel, no matter what it is. Honor what you feel. You have issues. Hey, the issue is the cause that's causing the effects you're feeling. Okay? You're upset over nothing. Hey, when you've got a reason to be upset, you are. There's nobody gets upset for nothing. Stop imagining things. Hey, that's a real one. You need help. Well, listen, in these situations, we actually do need help, but they know that they intentionally are making us feel like we need help and losing our dependence on what we trust within ourselves. Okay? It's always something with you. Well, yeah, these are common things that are being said by a narcissist. Here we go again. No one likes you. I never said that. They're lying. I don't have time for this. There's always drama with you. These are major gaslighting statements that a narcissist will say. And you know what? Narcissism doesn't always have to be in a romantic relationship. Narcissism comes in all forms with all titles. It could be a parent. It could be a sibling. It could be a relative. It could be a romantic partner. It could be a business interaction. It could be a boss. It could be a friend. It could be absolutely anything and anybody. Why? Because we all carry narcissistic traits. But real narcissism comes from somebody who has a lack of self-worth. Self-identity is off. They're always in competition to be the best. They need all the attention possible, and they will seek it by any form necessary. And anybody that gets any more attention than them, they will shut down because they are a threat to the attention that they seek. Okay? And I know that to be factual because when this man narcissist came into my life and saw the attention that I got working in my environment and loving how I do love with people, how I would magnetically pull people to me, he didn't like it. So it makes a lot of sense why he wanted me to quit my job. Makes a lot of sense why he wanted me to go find another job. Makes a lot of sense why he didn't want to take me out or go out, because he didn't like the attention that I got. Because he was an attention seeker and he demanded all the attention all the time. Me, I don't want anybody's attention, to be honest with you. Less is more for me. I got it tattooed on my arm. Keep it simple, less is more. Keep that attention for the needy. That's what I call it. Okay? So, guys, you got to be aware of this stuff. And before we move on quickly, I just want to show you guys, honestly, some narc traits I'm going to throw up. Look, traits to look out for in a partner, a narcissistic partner, when you feel like you're walking on eggshells. Okay? When they lose their charm behind closed doors. So what happens? They're all hunky-dory to the outside world. They're a hero to all, but a monster in the home. My father was like that. And you're constantly criticized by your partner. And they're constantly cheating. And you get the silent treatment because you are not worthy. And they constantly break their promises. I thought this was really important to share with you guys all today because there's a lot of talk about it going on, and we've both personally experienced it. But honestly, if you're experiencing narcissism, there's a couple of things that you can do. I suggest, a lot of people have these boundary setting when you're in a narcissistic interaction, I highly advise that you get out of it at any
Yes.
cost. You get out of it. You don't stay. But there is boundaries that you can put up until you can get out.
Mm-hmm.
Andy, I'm going to throw up the boundary. You want to share it with everybody?
Yes. Okay. What is boundary? Be aware of what is accept. Let me start over because apparently I can't English. Okay. Be aware of what is unacceptable and normalize saying no. Do what is best for you. And know that things aren't your responsibility all the time. Your needs matter too. That is something that I wish I would have had and known about when I was with both of my narcissistic ex-husbands. I love you too. Good night. Go to bed. Sorry.
No, that's okay. So, what you want to talk about this one before we go on?
Yes, I will talk about that one. Let me click it so I can see it better. Emotional abuse looks like, as we've discussed before, giving you the silent treatment, dismissing your feelings. Like if you tell your significant other or your family member, whoever it may be, that the way they talk to you is upsetting you or it is bringing back memories that you don't wish to be brought back, and they say you're crazy. Why are you talking like this? You've never said this before. You don't have a right to feel that way. Bull crap. But yes, they dismiss your feelings. um they love to play the victim and make you feel guilty, make you pity them, or feel sympathy for them because, again, they want the attention. They don't want anybody to know that they are the cause. They say, well, when I got away from my second ex husband, um, we got arrested because of his habit. And I got out of jail 9 days later. That he literally, the only thing he did good for me, besides for giving me two beautiful boys, was tell the judge that it was his fault. It was his fault that we were in jail, that I didn't do drugs, which I didn't. It was his fault. And the judge let me go. He looked at me, my ex-husband looked at me and said, wait for me. I walked out there and I was like, nah, I'm going to leave him sitting here. So he got out 2 months later, went to the police, got a restraining order on me. After 6 years of his crap, he got a restraining order on me. Talk about playing the victim.
That's what they're known to do, though, narcissists. They're known to actually turn it around, smear your name, intentionally try to make you look crazy, then try to have police action taken against you to really solidify their lies in the community and what the smear campaign was. And really, but hey, it backfires because the truth always comes to light.
Always.
Yeah, big time.
Yep.
So we mentioned quite a bit of narcissistic stuff today, guys, and we're going to move on to, I'm not going to actually, before we move on, there was one question that I'd like to answer. Somebody had asked me, Tobi, you mentioned about going back to drugs when you were in that relationship. Oh, let me tell you, I didn't go back to doing drugs the way I did drugs before I cleaned up. But yes, there were a couple of nights that I literally tried to take myself out by going on binges. Literally. And I did that twice, I think. That I thought, okay, that was the only way I can get out of this. And I went on a binge and I intentionally tried to have my heart stop because I knew I had had a heart attack. So the best way to do it was to trigger the heart attack and not survive it this time by choice alone. That's why I went and dabbled in drugs while I was in that narcissistic relationship. But I can be honest with it. But no, I didn't just turn back to drugs and start doing drugs every day and go into a cycle of drugs. No, but I did try to take myself out with drugs during that. I can be honest about that. So that was a question that I wanted to answer too. There's a couple of questions that I'll get to during the thing. But look, guys, I know that we've been out here for 40 minutes and we've talked a lot about narcissism. So whatever we don't touch tonight, we will get back to you with an episode 7. But
Yeah.
we want to talk a minute about people that are traumatized in the effects. Guys, you need to understand how severe any kind of trauma or its effects have on you. And if you don't repair them, okay? So it doesn't matter what kind of trauma you've had, whether it is your narcissistic abuse that you've suffered, whether it is physical trauma, whether it is a mental trauma, a psychological, anything. Trauma has real effects on you, should it not be healed. And you store these emotions in your body. And you know what? I'm going to pull up on this screen right now the effects of trauma. Okay, I found this really great. You guys need to understand that if you've been traumatized and you have not corrected it or fixed it, what are the effects of it? Well, look, you're 15 times more likely to commit suicide. Okay? You're 2.5 times more likely to smoke tobacco. You're 3 more times likely to have serious job problems. You're 3 times more likely to use antidepressant medications. You're 4 times more likely to inject drugs. You're 4 times more likely to develop sexually transmitted diseases through being promiscuous because you are trying to fulfill a need instead of healing the trauma. You're 4 times more likely to become an alcoholic. Guys, if you take a look at this image, you're going to clearly see that any trauma is not healthy. And the effects of it are serious. And it causes the trauma, then causes you to do things that you normally wouldn't do. So, I encourage you all today, it doesn't matter what you've suffered. It doesn't matter. You can heal from it. And you can let it go by choice alone. And tonight I want to encourage you guys to do that. And if you need help to do these things, the healing work. That was a question. Okay. Question was, Tobi, how long did it seriously take you to heal after leaving that? Well, listen, it took me a good couple of months because I had to accept it, readjust, allow, and align, and release.
It took me longer than that.
Well, because they say normally when you leave a narcissistic relationship or you are traumatized in any shape, way, or form, it takes you 2 years to recover, to calm down your central nervous system. But I'm kundalini awakened, operating at 1,000 hertz, okay, before this. So guess what? It doesn't take me that long. You know what I mean? So I can show you all how to do it with some swiftness attached. I don't like to linger in any kind of suffering. Swiftly correct that with ease. So guys, I encourage you all. No, it will not take you 2 years to calm your central nervous system should you take the inspired actions to do so. And all you have to do really is reach out. That's all you have to do. Reach out, and you can find me everywhere and anywhere.
Yeah.
You can reach out to Andy too. And trust me, we will guide you to the right resources and the right help. First, foremost, go get my book, Turning Hell into Heaven. If you are in a hellish situation, go get my book.
Absolutely. That
The
book,
revised.
I'm telling you what, I'm not going to give away any details, none whatsoever. But for one person to go through all of the hell that Tobi has went through and come out on top like she is, she can help anybody do that. She can help, as much crap as she's been through, she can help anybody come out on top, looking down at the people that taught them the lessons they needed to know.
There you go. Exactly, because you got to think greater than your circumstance. You got to think greater than your everything. And you got to have a high vibe if you want to, your frequency produces your results. It's simple as that. Your state is what you create.
Mm-hmm.
Simple.
I'm telling you what, Tobi, I wish I'd have met you back in 2010.
Oh, you know what? You weren't meant to. You were meant to now for the Alpha E-Mind Mastery collab and the United Earth Angel series. That's,
Yes.
it's all in divine timing.
I had to suffer. I had to learn how to teach others from my suffering.
Yeah. Well, you
I had
don't
to
know
learn
it if
how
you
to
don't live
heal.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I was younger, I told myself, I said, I will never, ever let a man hit me.
Yeah.
I needed humbled. I needed taught lessons. I learned the lessons so I could teach others that are going through it. Oh, I can tell young ones all I want to. I could tell young adults all I want to. Don't do that. This is what you got to look for. This is this. This is this. They're not going to listen because they have to learn their own way. I'm here to help the ones that are going through it now because I've been there. I know. I know what you're going through firsthand. Maybe not exactly the same way, but let me tell you, I have been through every type of abuse, every type of abuse that you can think of. And what am I doing right now? I'm smiling. I'm not there anymore. That was Andrea. This is Andy. I'm not there anymore. You're looking for me? Oh, well, I'm Andy. Who are you looking for? Andrea? Oh, well, I don't know her. I don't know her.
No, that's awesome because something, it's crazy because everybody says, oh, it's not that long ago, Toby. No, it was 9 months ago, but it feels like 9 years ago.
Yeah,
It no
mine was
longer exists.
right. Mine was 2010 when I left. And it feels like it was a lifetime, like a lifetime ago. And the only
Yes.
reason why I remember when it happened is because I have two beautiful children, two beautiful sons from my second husband. That's the only reason why I remember because them. I don't remember anything. I mean, I do remember stuff, but I don't feel nothing else. I don't remember timelines unless it has to do with them.
But that's also because you've healed and you've released a lot of that and you're no longer storing that within you, and that's why you don't feel it. You've taken the steps to rid yourself and to start healing.
Yeah.
And you know what, guys, I'd like to mention that too, because Andy's doing a huge process of transformation within herself right now, and she has successfully ridden herself of a lot of stored emotions and has dived in pretty deep into the inner work for her own being. And that's why she can sit here and talk about it. And we both can without being upset by it. We're sharing stories for knowledge.
Yes.
Okay. But there are some things you can do. You got to place some boundaries in your life. You got to start assessing why it is you would accept that from another person, because it does stem down to inner wounds.
Yeah.
And you know what? The easiest way to not be triggered by inner wounds is to heal those inner wounds. How do you heal those inner wounds? You must go and look at them. You know, if you have a foundation that's cracked, you got to go seal it.
Yeah.
Or you got to rebuild. There's no ands, ifs, or buts. You know, if you got to patch the holes that have been punctured, or that you feel scarred by, or you feel hurt by, or you feel that are still affecting your life.
Say you buy a new house. Buy a new house and there's holes in the wall, holes in the floor. Just like it looks like crap on the inside. What do? You just throw some wallpaper on the walls and hope it's fine? No. You fix the holes. You sand down everything. You repaint. You cut out an even amount of wood or carpet in the floor. You smooth it out. You relay carpet. You have to fix what is underneath before you just fix what it looks like.
Yeah, definitely. And you know what? There's a lot of, well, we didn't really get to a lot of questions, and we're running on 9 minutes down. So I guess we'll have to do another, because today was information packed for you all. But guys, look, you got to heal it, but you got to face it, and you got to feel it, and you got to understand why you're accepting it in order to correct it. Patterns are running on repeat. Why you accept these things? Because it's been installed in a pattern in your body from a young age that it was acceptable. Your brain accepted that as a suggestion, or you would not accept it today in your reality.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what has to be, the correlation has to be made. And if you're traumatized, yes, you can go in there and face the trigger and deconstruct it so that it no longer triggers you into PTSD, into anxiety, into depression. Break it down to the simplest form, and you can actually heal it, literally, so that you don't get triggered, that you're not running on fear-based operating system where you're always in fight, flight, or freeze mode. Because that also produces the same results of that state. You create from your state. Simple as that.
Yep.
So, what is the state of that you're in when you accept negative energies around you? You know, I want it to be clearly understood, the both types of energy that you can embody. Okay, tonight, because we're about to wrap up, but we didn't make it all the way to this. But it's important that I show you this and you understand the difference that one person can embody for their energy. People are either carrying a positive frequency or a negative frequency. Their state of being means everything. It means the value of, the value of their conversations, the value of how they show up in life, the value of how they interact, how they commit, how they even create their results. Guys, there's a real difference when it comes to positive energy and negative energy. I'm going to go through this quickly because we're going to wrap up the episode. Positive energy, you're creative, honesty, you're motivated, confidence, forgiving, peaceful, happy, inspired, helping, you're trustworthy, you're brave. While the negative energy, people that are complaining all the time about every little thing. They're always saying that they're sad about something. They're lazy. They're selfish. They're full of hate. They're fake. They've got regrets. They operate out of ego. They're greedy. They're angry. They're always fearing something. And they're violent. Yep. Well, what state are you embodying? Are you being positive? Or are you a negative bag of energy? You got to look at that. Because the same state that you embody is the same thing that you're attracting into your life. So, what does that mean? If you feel shitty about yourself, you're attracting shitty people into your life, shitty experiences, and shitty outcomes. If you feel amazing, well, then you will attract amazing interactions, amazing results. Direct correlation. But what are you embodying today? Your frequency first. Andy, we're about to wrap it up here. Do you want to take the floor?
I would love to. I just want to say that the power is within you. It is your life. It is your feelings. It is your body. It is your choice. You can choose to surround yourself with negative or choose to surround yourself with positive. You can't control what others do. You can only control how you perceive it, how you react to it. The way I look at it is, I don't care what anyone thinks of me. I really don't. I'm happy with me. If you like me and we're friends, awesome. Heck yeah, I'll hang out with you. If you're negative towards me or negative towards my children, because I'm a very protective mama bear, I don't want that negativity around me or my household. It's not worth it. You're not dragging me down with you. Misery loves company, but you know what? So do happy people. So do people that are positive. They love company too, sometimes even more. Have you ever walked into a room and you just feel this good, amazing energy connecting all over the place? It's because that room is filled with positive people. You avoid people that avoid the dark corners, people that avoid negativity. There's no room for negativity. No room for negativity in your life. Yeah, things go wrong. Yeah, I get upset about stuff. Yeah, sometimes I hoot and holler about it. I feel it and then I'm over it. Done. Yeah, that happened. Okay. All right. So what? It's over now. I don't need to worry about it anymore. Cool. And I smile and go on about my day. You can't control what people do. You can only control how you react to what people do. If you want to choose to dwell on the negativity, I can't make you not do it. I can tell you it's unhealthy. Mentally, physically, emotionally, very unhealthy. You can't blame people. You can't blame everybody else for the way you feel about something. You can blame them for acting a certain way because that's what they did. But you can't blame them for how you feel about it. If you can't release what they did and just be you. Love you. You can love them at a distance if they're negative. But you can't control them. You can only control you. And that's my talk.
Well, thank you, Andy. You know, and I'm really grateful that you come out here and you do this United Earth Angels series and you bring your personal story and your experience and everything to it, because I know you got a plate full dealing with 11 children and a husband and a life and 11 different lives that you have to be responsible for and their activities and everything that it comes with that. Whoo, girl. I appreciate the time and the effort that you bring here to the table for everybody
I love
to
doing
share.
it.
'Cause
I
it's
love
huge.
doing it. If I only help one person, then I've done my job.
Yeah, I get it. Big time. Big time. Okay, guys, so I guess we'll wrap it up here. There's a lot of questions that I had written down that I never got to because time and, I wanted you guys to really be able to have an insight about what to watch for if you're in any abusive relationships, because I tell you something, there's a lot of abuse happening in the world. And the biggest, hey, we didn't even get into the topic of generational curses. Well, guess what? I guess that tomorrow I will be out for a topic of that because, guys, I didn't touch it today. And it's a serious topic. And it leaks down to even narcissism and trauma and all kinds of stuff. The effects of trauma that I just showed you leaks down in the generations. And it's not, we associate it to the alcoholism or the drug addictions or so I had mentioned that I was going to talk about drug addiction. Well, I'll just say this. I'll bring up the topic tomorrow. I'm definitely going to come out here and touch base on the things that I couldn't cover tonight, that we couldn't cover tonight.
I'll
But
come on tomorrow night with you too if you want.
all right, cool. Well, then we'll do another episode tomorrow night and we'll cover the generational curses and the addiction stuff and everything that I wanted to cover tonight too.
Ooh, our first two-parter.
There we go. So it'll be part 1 tonight and part 2 tomorrow. All right, cool. So that's what we'll do. Expect us out tomorrow night at 9:30 to give you a part 2 to wrap up whatever we missed on tonight.
Yep.
But I'd like to just say, guys, anybody who's addicted to drugs, no, you are addicted to escaping your reality.
Yes.
And you are just merely using the drugs as that form of escape. We'll get into it tomorrow. Generational curses, yes, there is trauma that affects and leaks through the generations, which is alcoholism, drug addiction, trauma, PTSD, that does leak through the genes. We'll talk about that tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And the world is changing.
Every
And
day.
this is why we have to talk about it.
Yes.
There is a new way to operate on earth, and that is a conscious way and a mindful way. And should you invest in just that, yes, you can stay calm. So I promised you guys tips and tricks tonight. So I'm not going to leave you without any. Listen, you feel anything coming on, you practice the pause. No matter what it is, you stop. Stop. Be the observer of what you're feeling. Look at it right in its face and say, hey, whoa. I'm in control. You're not. Immediately, it shuts it down and does not give it the permission to continue. That's what I've done personally, and it works. Gratitude journaling. Every time when you open your eyes, if you need to correct your patterns that you're running on, repeat gratitude journal right away before coffee, before anything. Write down the things that you are grateful for. If during the day that you're, not feeling right, pause from everything that you're doing. Give yourself some inspiring self-talk. You can motivate yourself by telling yourself, okay, I matter. I can be calm. I can breathe. And that's the best loving thing for me. Choose things for yourself that are helpful to your being and not harmful to your being. It's as simple as that. Tomorrow night, we'll be out here for a part 2. If you guys need some help, please reach out.
Yes.
Because I can help. I really can. And I've seen the effects of the people that I am working with. And I'm totally blown away at the results and how quickly they're happening. Like Andy, a couple of weeks into your inner work, how do you feel?
I feel absolutely relieved. I have emptied out all of my emotional baggage. I have completely emptied it, and I filled my cup with love and positivity, self-love, love for things that I'm doing, love for the way I look, love for the way I act, Love for the way I speak. Love for the way I treat others.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. I love it. See, and all of you can feel like that no matter what you've lived. And this is why we come out here and we share stories. We don't come out here for pity parties because I don't even pity myself.
No.
I
no.
have zero regret. According to what I've lived in my life, I love it all. And that is the key to healing it, is
Yes.
loving it all away.
Yes, Toby,
Loving.
we have been put through hell. We have been put through hell so that others can learn from our hell.
Yeah. But that doesn't mean you can't turn your hell into heaven. So I inspire you and motivate you all to do it. Guys, we'll be back out here tomorrow night for another episode of Earth Angel United series. I guess we'll do episode 7 tomorrow night to finish up what we didn't get done tonight.
Yes.
Love you all.
I love you. Love yourself.
Yes. You guys, you got to love you first.
Yep.
And you know, we'll be back out here tomorrow night for another episode because we got a lot more to finish. And I invite you all to join us tomorrow night.
Absolutely.
We love you.
We love you.
Have a great night, everybody.